NVTS stock could explode from here. But there's one problem that I think a lot of investors are ignoring. And honestly, this is what makes Navitas Semiconductor so interesting right now. Because on one side, you've got NVIDIA, AI data centers, 800-volt power systems, and a massive future demand story. On the other side, you've got a small company that still needs to prove that all this excitement can turn into serious revenue. And that gap between the story and the numbers could decide where NVTS goes next. So let's talk about it. NVTS is currently trading around $14 to $15. And at this price, I don't think the stock is simply an easy buy. But I also don't think investors should ignore it. Here's why. AI data centers are becoming insanely power hungry. The next generation of AI systems needs far more electricity than traditional data centers. And NVIDIA is pushing toward 800-volt power architecture for future AI infrastructure. Navitas is collaborating within NVIDIA's MGX ecosystem on this 800-volt transition. The company has demonstrated an 800-volt to 6-volt GaN power delivery board targeting around 97.5% efficiency. And this is where the NVTS story gets exciting. Because NVIDIA doesn't just need faster GPUs, it needs a completely different power infrastructure to support those GPUs. And Navitas is trying to become one of the companies providing that technology. If this transition works the way investors expect, NVTS could have a much bigger opportunity than its current size suggests. But here's the catch. The opportunity is huge. While the current revenue base is still relatively small, that's a massive difference. A great technology story doesn't automatically create a great stock. Eventually, customers have to buy the products. Revenue has to grow. Margins have to improve. And the company has to prove that these AI opportunities are becoming real commercial business. That's exactly what I'm watching. Because the market can give NVTS a huge valuation based on future expectations. But if those expectations don't turn into revenue, the stock can get punished very quickly. And there's another risk. NVTS isn't the only company working on advanced power semiconductors. There is serious competition in GaN and silicon carbide, so even if the AI power market becomes enormous, Navitas still has to win its share of that market. That's why I wouldn't look at NVTS and say, NVIDIA is involved, so the stock has to explode. That's too simple. The better question is, how much of this future opportunity can Navitas actually capture? Now let's talk about my price outlook. At around $14 to $15, I think the stock has an interesting risk-reward setup, but it's definitely speculative. My base case would be around $18 to $20 if the AI power story continues strengthening and we start seeing better commercial traction. But the bull case is where things get interesting. If 800-volt AI data centers ramp aggressively, Navitas wins meaningful customers, and revenue starts accelerating. I think $25 becomes a realistic target. And if the company eventually proves that it can become a major player in AI power infrastructure, I wouldn't completely rule out $30 over the longer term. But I want to be very clear. Those are my scenarios, not guarantees. The same stock that can move 50 or 100% higher on positive, AI news can also fall sharply if expectations get too high. And that's the catch. NVTS could be one of those stocks where the future looks enormous. But investors have to survive the volatility while waiting for that future to arrive. Personally, I'm bullish on the long-term opportunity, but I'm not blindly bullish on the stock. I want to see three things. First, stronger revenue growth. Second, real customer adoption of the 800-volt technology. And third, evidence that Navitas can turn its NVIDIA-related opportunity into meaningful business. If those three things happen, I think NVTS could surprise a lot of people. But if they don't, the stock could remain stuck in the same range or even move lower. And now I want your opinion. If NVTS is around $14 to $15, would you buy it? Or would you wait for a pullback? And here's the bigger question. Do you think NVTS can actually reach $25? Or is the AI hype already priced into the stock? Drop your target in the comments. Personally, I'm watching NVTS very closely because the opportunity is real. But so is the risk. And sometimes, the biggest winners aren't the companies with the biggest hype. They're the companies that actually manage to turn that hype into revenue. So if you want to know whether NVTS is really becoming an AI power winner, make sure you subscribe. Because I think the next few quarters could tell us whether this is just another AI stock story or the beginning of something much bigger.